The sun emits an enormous amount of heat and energy which we take for granted. It does this through a process called nuclear fusion. In the process, with a tremendous amount of heat and force from gravity at the center of the sun, the electrons are stripped from the protons and the particles bounce around in the plasma state. The hydrogen nuclei collide and form heavier helium atoms and release a tremendous amount of energy in the process. This reaction has made engineers question whether the same methods can be used to provide us energy here on Earth.
Once stabilized, the fusion reaction would produce 4 times as much energy as the fission reaction today in nuclear power plants. The main obstacle left to solve currently is when scaling the reaction, finding a way to harness the energy and the plasma in a controlled state. The sun's reaction is held together by gravity, but here on Earth, a gravity field large enough is not possible. So scientists are turning towards the use of magnetic fields.
We chose this challenge because, if solved, it would solve the world's energy crisis. It shows the possibility of providing clean and nearly limitless energy for many generations to come. It is a fascinating and early technology which still has many unknowns, but if solved, it could satisfy the energy demands of the whole world. Also, this would help developing countries accelerate into the developed world much faster.
Nuclear fusion has the ability to become a clean and possibly limitless source of energy, whereas in other sources of energy, such as fossil fuels and coals, produce harmful byproducts. Fusion doesn't release any of those things. The only byproduct is helium, and so far that has had no adverse effects on our environment. The fuel used is deuterium, which occurs naturally in seawater. In fact, there's about 30 grams per cubic meter. Tritium can also be used, but it's much more rare than deuterium in nature. In fusion, there's also no risk of a meltdown like in fission reactors, because in fission, once the reaction melts down, it'll keep going until it just explodes, like in Chernobyl. But with fusion, once the fuel is used up, it stops. Also, with the concerning amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, fusion is luckily a green alternative. There is no carbon dioxide emission, and like I said, it's only helium that gets released. However, we don't know 100% if nuclear fusion is possible to be made on a commercial scale, such as other sources of energy. So far, the cost of the experiment far outweighs the yielding energy, and some believe that the money could be better spent elsewhere, such as in solar and wind.
ITER is an international collaboration where 37 countries united to build a project to harness the power of fusion. This is the leading attempt to show the progress made towards scaling fusion to become a profitable source of energy by producing at least 10 times the amount of energy it consumes. The world is projected to be ready to harness the power of energy through this project starting in 2025, with continued experiments running through 2035. On November 20th through 21st, 2019, the ITER Council met for the 25th time since the signature of the ITER Agreement. They stated the project is on the path to success thanks to the efforts of the One ITER team and its commitment to effective collaboration. This shows the current state of progress moving towards the completion of this challenge is moving forward and getting closer to success each year. If ITER is successful, DIMO will be the next project taken on to become the first actual use of fusion to put power onto the grid. DIMOs aim to be done somewhere in the area of 2030 to 2050.
Once this plan proves its viability, it will be necessary to ensure the effective delivery of this technology to the rest of the world. This will involve 2 main components: demystifying nuclear power and ensuring regulatory standards are met worldwide. In order to demystify nuclear power and ensure that the general population accepts it as a safe form of energy, educational programs should be introduced to educate the populace about the benefits of nuclear power. Key components of this program will include the fact that it allows us to generate massive amounts of power without seriously negatively affecting the environment around it. In fact, the only byproduct of a fusion reactor would be hot water and helium. They are also safer than every other form of energy. While nuclear power kills 0.04 people per terawatt hour of power, coal kills 15 people per terawatt hour of power. By presenting the world with the true facts about nuclear power and aggressively promoting and advertising policies which benefit nuclear power, we will work towards a sustainable future. On the other hand, in order to ensure worldwide adaptation, it would be expedient to create an international regulatory association that ensures fusion plants operate within safe boundaries. In doing this, we will ensure that every country which wants to build a plant has a safe framework to build within. Nuclear fusion's power is too transformational to be limited by business interests.